They say dogs can sense what the heart hides long before the mind ever understands. But no one in courtroom 3B was ready for what happened on that storm-soaked Tuesday morning. The air was heavy with tension, thunder rumbling in the distance as rain trickled down tall, arched windows. The faint scent of old varnish mixed with fear and fatigue. Lawyers rustled papers, a clerk double-checked her notes, and a classroom of visiting teens shuffled nervously in the back rows. Officer Daniels stood near the aisle, his canine partner Rex calm and alert at his side until suddenly, he wasn't. Without warning, the German shepherd stiffened like a statue. His hackles rose, ears locked forward, and a low, warning growl rumbled deep from his chest. Before anyone could react, Rex lunged with full force, dragging Daniels, his seasoned handler, across the slick floor tiles with an urgency that sent every pair of eyes spinning. Gasps echoed like gunfire through the chamber as the dog charged toward the raised oak bench where judges typically sat in solemn silence. And then, silence. Rex skidded to a stop, nose pressed against the wood. He barked once, sharp and alert, then dropped to the floor and began pawing violently at the paneling. Daniels knelt, heart racing, eyes searching, hand reaching for the flashlight clipped to his belt. He flicked it on and lowered it under the wide, carved overhang of the judge's bench and froze. A face. Small, pale, and trembling. A little girl, no more than 6, her wide eyes full of fear and something deeper, something almost otherworldly. Hope. Dirt streaked her cheeks, and her tangled hair was matted with dust. She clutched a tattered teddy bear in one tiny fist and a corner of a pink blanket in the other. It was as if time paused right there, in that breath between heartbeats, when every person in the room forgot the rules, the titles, the case files, and simply became human. Before we continue this unbelievable story of courage, loyalty, and an unbreakable bond that changed everything, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Pawsitive Tales if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the incredible loyalty of animals. Because today's story is more than just a mystery. It's about healing, hope, and the kind of love only a dog can teach us. To understand why that moment was so powerful, we need to rewind not to that morning, but to 2 broken lives that found each other when they needed it most. Officer Kyle Daniels was once known for his fearlessness, a decorated canine handler with a near-spotless record and a partner named Max, a golden-furred Belgian Malinois who had once taken a bullet to save a hostage. For 8 years, they were inseparable, a team forged in the crucible of danger and devotion. But one night changed everything. A warehouse drug bust turned ambush. Max lunged in front of Kyle during gunfire and didn't survive the night. Daniels spiraled. He returned to duty weeks later, but he wasn't the same. He stopped laughing. Stopped socializing. Stopped living. His badge was still pinned to his chest, but his heart was buried with Max. When his captain suggested he train a new K9, he refused with a sharp no. He couldn't go through that pain again. Enter Rex. A rescue case no one wanted. Found in the rubble of a house fire, starved, scarred, and so full of fear he snarled at anyone who got close. The shelter listed him as unadoptable. Unfit for service. But Daniel saw something in his eyes, something raw and wounded and strangely familiar. For reasons he couldn't explain, he said yes. Yes to the dog with the broken past. Yes to another chance. Yes to trying again. Training was brutal. Rex was reactive, anxious, mistrustful. He flinched at raised hands and had nightmares that left him howling in the middle of the night. But Daniels didn't give up. He didn't yell. He didn't punish. He just sat with Rex in the kennels for hours, talking in low tones, tossing treats, letting silence speak louder than commands. He learned to read Rex's body language the way he once read Max's heartbeat. And slowly, painfully slowly, trust began to bloom. It took months, but Rex transformed. He began to show his brilliance and uncanny ability to detect distress, not just in scent, but in energy. Once, he helped find a missing hiker clinging to life in the woods. Another time, he stopped a young boy from jumping off a ledge, simply by laying beside him and licking his hand. Rex wasn't just a detection dog. He was a healing dog. A mirror for the broken. And Daniels? He began to heal too. So that day in courtroom 3B wasn't supposed to be anything special. Just a public demonstration. A way to show kids how K9 units operated. Daniels had his speech prepared, Rex had his vest on, and everything was routine until it wasn't. The moment they walked in, Rex's demeanor changed. He was alert, agitated, head on a swivel, sniffing the air with sharp, jerky movements. He whimpered softly and pulled at his leash. Daniels knew the signs Rex had found something. But what? The answer would shake them all. When Daniels saw Lily's eyes under that bench, he felt his chest tighten in a way he hadn't since Max died. She looked so much like his own niece. So fragile. So silent. He extended his hand slowly, calling for paramedics and backup, and whispered words of safety like a mantra. Finally, her little fingers uncurled. She crawled out, collapsing into his arms as the courtroom exploded into stunned, chaotic motion. Over the next few hours, the story came together in pieces, whispers between sobs, confirmations from the police database. Lily had been missing for 4 days. Her mother was nowhere to be found. Her stepfather, newly out of prison, was the prime suspect. Lily had been hiding in alleys, sleeping behind dumpsters, and finally crawled into the courthouse through an unlocked service door in the early morning. She had no plan. She was just running. Trying to stay invisible. And she almost did. But Rex didn't miss her. The newspapers were quick to label it a miracle. Hero dog finds lost child. But headlines missed the soul of the story. They didn't see the nights Rex flinched in his sleep. The mornings Daniel sat in silence beside his partner, remembering Max. The countless failures it took to get to this one moment of success. In the weeks that followed, Lily was placed with a foster family known for their warmth and stability. She began therapy and, in a few sessions, she talked only about Rex. Her bear, now stitched at the seams, was named after him. Daniels visited her when he could, always bringing Rex along, and each time, the bond between dog and child deepened. No fear. Just trust. Just love. Daniels, once closed off, now speaks at shelters and schools about trauma, trust, and the power of second chances. He founded a program to train rescue dogs for service work, insisting that the unadoptables often make the best partners because they understand survival. They understand loyalty. They understand what it means to hurt and to heal. And Rex? He's still on duty. His vest still reads K9 unit, but ask anyone who's met him, and they'll tell you he's more than a working dog. He's a guardian. A guide. A symbol of what's possible when we choose love over fear, patience over punishment, and hope over doubt. If this story touched your heart the way it touched ours, please like this video, leave a comment, and share it with someone who believes in miracles born from loyalty and love. Subscribe to Pawsitive Tales to hear more real-life stories of animals who change the world, one heartbeat at a time. Special request, comment below, what would you say to Rex if you had the chance to meet him in person? We'd love to read your words of gratitude, encouragement, or even a simple thank you. Because sometimes the heroes we need walk on 4 legs.